and welcome to FILTERLESS, the podcast where we talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about, how the fuck we want to talk about it. My name is Kat, or Catatonic if you're coming from YouTube, and I am joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, AceofShame.
If I was trapped on a desert island, I'd just kill myself, to be honest.
If we're being honest, I think a lot of people would. And because this is a little bit of a brain rot episode, we have a guest. And the guest is my good friend Jeremy. Or
Hello.
the main character, or whatever.
Yeah, you're all in my story, sorry.
So, before we actually get into this episode, we have a couple of announcements, which is the first time we have ever actually had something under the housekeeping. Ace, you want to announce those? You want to announce one of those? I'll announce the other.
Yeah, sure. So, as people know, we do have a Filters Topics email, filterstopics@gmail.com, that people can send us topics and things like that. And sometimes we get topics from there. Sometimes we'll also take reviews from there. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about actual reviews from Apple Podcast.
Yes,
starting with a
sir.
review from Threat. It's a titled Meow, 5 stars. Very funny stories, as well as just funny host in general. I've listened to all the episodes at least twice, and honestly, I love them. Lol. They all have interesting things in them to listen to, as well as I keep laughing every few minutes. Bro, writing is so hard. You guys rock. And then there's a rock emoji.
Thank you,
Threat.
Yes, thank you.
We really appreciate that. And then we have a little shorter one here. It says, the filter is non-existent. It's 5 stars. And then it just says, and that's a good thing. And that's from Dr. 1085.
Dritten?
It says doctor.
I'm pretty sure it says Dritten.
Is
Like
that
a
how you
dragon
pronounce it?
kitten. Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I know. Like I've said.
There's no vowels.
Person. Is there not?
There's no vowels.
I might not know this person. Hold on. No,
There's
yeah, that's.
no-
I don't know.
Should there be an
pretty
I?
Sure. I'm pretty sure that's Sinister.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Sinister.
If that is you, if it's not, thank you anyways.
Thank you, other person, if it's not Sinister. But
If it
yeah,
is Sinister,
we actually had some reviews, so we really appreciate that.
If it is Sinister, step your game up. You forgot a letter. And the other announcement, as we have been doing this for 10 episodes now, this is the 10th episode. We
Double digits.
actually- yeah, woo! We have merchandise now. Over on Filterless Fits, which is the merch site or the spread shop, not shot. The spread shop site, which will be a new link added into the link tree down in the comments. Yep, I just added it before recording today. So we have merchandise now. So go get your Filterless Fits, everyone.
Woohoo!
Well,
What do you think of that name, Jeremy?
What happened?
What do you think of that name for our merch store?
Filterless Fits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely different because I looked up Filterless Shop and I got, like, weird cream sites. So I think Fits was probably going to help out in your searching for the actual website.
Yeah. We'll have the link down in the link tree in the description of the YouTube videos, as well as Spotify and Apple. Anyways, now that all the housekeeping's out of the way, how's everyone doing today?
Well, I know you guys have something to talk about, so I'll just get my housekeeping out of the way. I'm doing fucking great, and I got to binge all of the live-action One Piece on my days off, so I'm feeling great.
Nice. Now, Jeremy, how are you doing? Do you want to start the story of what happened on Friday?
I'll start it because I was the first victim.
Victim?
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, victim.
Oh, no.
So our buddy is a Marine up in Virginia, and he came down for the weekend for his brother's birthday. And I'm asking his boyfriend for help for audio stuff to see if it sounded good. And he tells me, "Hey, I'm at Andretti's." And I'm like, "That's awesome." And he's like, I'll pay for a 2-hour wristband if you want to come." And I was like, I don't know about that. Grandma said I don't want to go drive in traffic, and he said, "Okay, there's an Uber on its way to your house
Oh my
right
God.
now." And I said, guess I'm going." And not too long after getting there, I was like, "You know who else we can invite? Cat." And he was like, "Shit, you right."
Fast
And
forward
so
to
I
me.
called him. I said,
No.
"What are you doing?"
No, it was better than that because I'm laying in my bed and a random number calls me. I'm like, I'm not answering this, and I hang up. And then Jeremy calls me and I pick up immediately. That the part that makes that funny is the random number was our buddy.
Yeah, it was funny because he was calling you, and I actively said, "Yeah, he's not gonna pick up for you, but he'll pick up for me." He calls you, doesn't answer. I call you, and you pick up immediately. And I said, "Well, what did I say?"
And they thought, oh, it's just because he hates you, but realistically, it was just because I didn't have his number saved to my phone, so it was just a random number. I wasn't gonna pick up a random number.
And that you hate him.
And that I hate him, yeah. But anyways, it gets better than just that.
Yeah. So we forced Kat to join us. He gets there, and because it wasn't too long before I had this idea. We did like the dropper thing and like some spinny ride that they have there, and then the first thing we made Kat do was go on a roller coaster, which was surprisingly.
It was
good.
hilarious because we were like spinning around, and every time we'd like face each other, it's like just punchline to a joke, punchline to a joke,
Yeah.
punchline to a joke.
Yeah, it was one of those roller coasters that do you know the teacup rides? It was as if every seat on the roller coaster was a spinning teacup ride thing. So you spun as you were on a track.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
And that was a
But
roller
anyways.
coaster?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
something
roller
like that.
coaster, but you spun in your seat.
Interesting.
And then we're pretty much done with Andretti's. There's other things along the lines, but we don't want to spend too much time on that. Then we're like, oh, you want to go to an escape room? So we're like, yeah, let's go to an escape room. They all pile into my car, which, by the way, was not prepared for at all. I thought our buddy brought a car or something. I don't know what the hell was going on. But we all pile into my car. We go to an escape room, and on the way, we get Domino's. And this is...
Domino's, you say?
Well, it's also funny because the motherfucker left his pizza in my car and I didn't find out until the next day. So I had...
What?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah, he left his Hawaiian pizza in my car, which he had taken like 3 slices from, and it was just in my backseat.
So much of that pizza, like he specifically got a Hawaiian for himself, but everybody basically ate pepperoni.
Yeah. But anyways, it gets even
That is
better.
the go-to group pizza. All right, sorry, Kat, go ahead.
So we go to the escape room, and then we go to pay, and he can't find his debit card. So he's like, "Oh, did I leave it at Domino's?" I'm like, "Maybe." So I gave him my keys so he could drive to Domino's. He gets to Domino's. I ended up paying. He's gonna pay me back, and he calls me after we have paid. After we're ready, we're just waiting for him so he can sign his. What's it called?
His waiver.
Yeah, his waiver. And he calls me and goes, "Yeah, so turns out I'm a dumbass." I'm like, "We knew this. Continue." And he goes, "Yeah, so my debit card was in my wallet. It was just behind my ID. So I couldn't find it because it wasn't where I normally put it." And he's like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Did you guys pay already?" I'm like, "Yeah, I paid." He goes, "How much was it?" I went, "It was like 116, but you could just round it up and give me 200.
What the?
And
what?
that was... that was just the joke for the night. Like, as I was on the phone, he's like, "So I'll give you like," I think I said it was like 160 because I didn't actually know. I eventually told him, I'm like, "Yeah, but you could just round it up and give me 200. And he goes, "So how about I give you 170? I'm like, "How about you give me 200? And meanwhile, Jeremy's sitting on the couch inside the lobby, just like, "Dude, stop." I'm like, no. How about you give me 200?
What I found funny is he actually did end up giving you $200.
He did. He gave me the rest of he gave me money for gas. So at the end of the day, I did get $200.
Damn.
Wait. Now I think about it, that day you ended up with a net gain of $200.
Yep, pretty much.
You went hung out with us, and then you got $200. We paid you to hang out with us.
No, I didn't get $200 because I spent 116 on the escape room. So I gained.
Yeah, but you...
I didn't gain.
Okay, yeah, technically. Yeah.
Anyways, we get to the escape room. We're doing the escape room. By the way, his little brother is an annoying piece of shit.
Oh yeah, his little brother was with us. His brother's like 10.
His brother is a psycho.
But he's telling jokes like a high schooler. He's like throwing up gang signs. He's like,
yeah, we were playing laser tag.
Things that a 10-year-old shouldn't be saying.
We were playing laser tag, and he was like running around the laser tag field. By the way, all of us that are with him are above the age of 18, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're all above the age of 18.
Yeah,
and this little 10-year-old is running around the laser tag going, "Suck my nuts, daddy."
What the fuck?
And saying other obscenities and like just being overall kind of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Which I can tell our buddy was getting annoyed by it.
And then we get to the escape room, and I kid you not, every like 5 minutes, he goes, "I think we need a hint." Dude, we are literally in the process of solving a puzzle. We don't need a hint. He goes, "Oh, yeah, but I think we need a hint." I'm like, "No, we don't." And then he kept playing with the props. I'm like, "Dude, stop. We need those." It was funny because we did like a mafia themed one, so there was 2 guns in the room. So at one point in time, Jeremy and I just kept pointing the guns at each other. But then
because one was like a realistic like airsoft Luger metal,
and then the other one was
like
a laser
plastic laser gun.
But the best part,
used...
the best part has yet to come. We get done with the escape room, and at this point in time, I was under the impression that our buddy's dad was going to come pick him up. Turns out he wasn't. So originally we had planned for me to take them home. I think during the escape room, he goes, "Yes, my dad just called me and said that he'll come pick us up." And then afterwards, he called his dad, and his dad's like, "I'm not going to be able to come pick you up." So I ended up taking them home. This is where it gets crazy. We drop his brother off. He goes inside, grabs something from the house. I think he was grabbing his Switch from the house. Comes back.
Yeah, he's got like a pillow and his Switch.
He came back out to the car, and then gave us directions to get to his dad's house. Which then he informs us, "I hope I know where it is. I've only been there once."
So where he was taking us was like gated community, and the only idea of where he knew where it was is he said, "We just look for a gate."
Yeah.
Just look for a gated community, and we went to the first one we saw.
And then he calls his dad. He goes, "What's the code?" His dad gives him the code. So we punched the code in. At one point in time, I punched the code in the first 2 times, realized that I was hitting asterisk instead of pound. So then I hit pound, put the code in, and then it still wasn't working. So then our buddy gets out of the car, puts the code in like 10 times, can't figure it out. Jeremy gets out, puts the code in, and
doesn't work.
At one point in time, our buddy turns and goes, "Pound is the star, right?" And I went, "No, it's the hashtag." So,
which I messaged him the next day, and he was like, "I knew what it was. I was just making sure." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Okay, buddy.
and then this older gentleman comes out of the gated community and goes, "Are you guys trying to get in?" And we went, "Yeah, we can't figure out the code. Like, we know the code, but we can't get in." He goes, "Oh, okay." So he buzzes us in. We drive like 2 or 3 laps around this neighborhood. Well, first time we go in, he says, "Okay, go right." So I go right. We get halfway through. He's like, "Oh, you were supposed to go left." I went, "You told me right." He goes, "Yeah, I know, but I meant left." So we turn around, we go left, and he goes, "This isn't the right gated community." So,
oh my god.
Then we have to get out of the gated community. At this point in time, I had called my mom. I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit before I'm home. We're trying to get our buddy home." And she goes, "Okay." And then he says something, and she goes, "Is someone drunk?" And our buddy goes, "No, I'm not drunk. I'm just stupid." So we get out of that gated community. We go up to the next one, and yeah, it was the whole entire time. It was like
it was so funny because he was so like just hysterical. He was kind of like freaking out a little bit. Like he was just so tired and so exhausted that him trying the same code over and over, and he just
Who, me or
the old man must our buddy.
Oh yeah,
And
I
the
mean
old
I was
guy-
also
that old guy pulls up and probably sees this kid whoa, words.
It was
frantically
funny.
punching in this code over and over and over again. He's just like, I'm gonna just let him in.
At one point in time he just goes, "Hey Siri, how do you enter a code into a gated community code box?" And then he goes, "This isn't helping me." But yeah, it was a fucking adventure. And then after that, the joke went from you could just give me 200 to okay, same time next week.
Yeah.
But anyways, story aside, I eventually made it home. I think we got out of the escape room at like 9:45, and then I ended up getting home at like 10:30.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, Ace, you want to introduce the topic and tell us what we're doing today?
Well, first I'm a dropping a nasty, disturbing fact on y'all.
Oh yeah, that.
A horrible fun fact that as many as 50 serial killers are loose in the United States at this very moment.
51.
What am I supposed to tell him?
They forgot to put me on the list.
I'm on there. They just don't know.
And according to the FBI and homicide archivist, 3,000 to 4,000 serial killers remain active in the country.
Interesting.
So there's your disturbing fun fact. Sleep well, everyone.
So I will not be going to Avid's birthday.
I came prepared this episode because I have a counter fun fact.
Give me the counter.
It is no one was actually burnt to death at the Salem witch trials.
Is this
Oh,
a
yeah,
fact
that's
or
true.
Is this a conspiracy?
Most of
is a
them
fact.
were hung. Or no. Most of them died in prison. Some of them were hung, and one guy was crushed to death with rocks. Do you want to know why he was crushed to death with rocks?
Because
Is
they
this a
thought,
pun?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because they were like, "Hey, are you a witch?" And he was like, But like they would keep asking him, and he would proceed to not tell them yes or no. And so they kept piling rocks on him, and then to a point he was just like, "Yeah, put more rocks on the thing." and then he died, and they were just like, "Okay."
I guess he took life for granted.
Shut up.
Damn. Yeah, so the Salem witch trials. Uh-oh. You guys still there?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I am at
Okay.
least.
So the Salem witch trials, the ones that happened in the Boston area, no one was burned. The burning thing happened in Europe.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know how that got switched up in translation because technically the Boston thing is an American thing. I don't know why they're like, burn the witches in Salem, but
Salem is
We
more
should-
merchandisable.
yeah,
It's spooky.
spoopy.
We Americans have some more class than burning people.
All right. Let's
Anyways.
get into the topic. In this draft, we are each going to go one by one, and pick an item until we have 5 items each. And at the end, there will be 3 lists. At the end, we are not going to pick a winner. The winner will be decided by our listeners. So let's just go ahead and set the scene here. You are cruising on a boat through the ocean. Suddenly, the light goes out. The waves get large, and you are marooned on an island. You have the miraculous ability to take items out of thin air and place it on the island with you. The stigma being, these items cannot be used to escape the island, only to survive.
Okay.
Does that make
Who's going
sense?
first? Yep.
All right. I believe in my order I have Jeremy going first, so the floor is yours, good sir.
Okay, so it's a pick an item that other people. Okay. I'm gonna go probably first aid kit.
A first aid
Ooh.
kit. Ooh, it's not bad.
Does that mean I'm not allowed to pick a first aid kit? Because that's something.
It does.
No, I'm fucked.
You are dying.
Dead. All right. Is there anything particular reason why you would pick a first aid kit as your first pick?
I mean, it's probably a little self-explanatory. First,
Are you sure you're going to get injured?
Knowing me, most likely.
Is it like
I'm going to be doing?
Is this desert island one of those scenarios of like the very cliche hump of sand with a tree, or is this like an actual island?
This is like an actual island. Think like Survivor.
Is this like Castaway, or because when you say desert island, do you mean deserted or like it still have a desert?
Deserted, I guess.
Yeah. So like the island that, like Castaway, or the island that Arrow was stranded on, minus the people.
Yes, basically.
Okay. So full-fledged island.
Full-fledged island. Not a lump of sand cartoon style.
Okay. Anyways, Jeremy, you were saying?
Yeah, it's a first aid kit. I think in most first aid kits you're gonna have like alcohol pads, maybe some gauze, some band-aids, one of those like things that go in your nose if you break them, even though it doesn't really do anything. Just like your general, like some of them even have aspirin in them. But I don't know if you want to. Just a first aid kit. If I get hurt, if I get scratched, if I get bit by something, I'm gonna have some first aid to patch me up.
So it is a good pick, in my opinion, but it runs out. It's not gonna last super long like a tool or something would.
Yeah, but that's when you kind of have to be like, oh, I got a paper cut. Is it really worth putting a Band-Aid on? You have to prioritize your injuries.
How the fuck you gonna get a paper cut on an island?
It was a fucking example, but
I got a paper cut opening the Band-Aid.
Now I gotta use two.
All right, so your first pick was a first aid kit. Keep track of these, by the way.
Yeah, I'm writing them down.
All right, good. You too, Kat. All right, Kat, you're up next.
Hold on, I'm getting paper.
You can just open a note on your computer.
No.
All right.
Okay, then.
First pick. Got a little pen clip here. I'm gonna do a survival kit. So it's like a first aid kit on steroids because it has a hatchet in it.
What is in a survival kit, particularly? If you can tell me what is in a survival kit, that makes it different.
Okay, so it has bare bones first aid kit.
So it has a first aid kit.
Kind of.
Then you can't take anything that has a first aid kit.
I would say if you're gonna have something that has a first aid kit in it, just remove the first aid kit.
No, because that ruins the point. That ruins my loophole.
Yeah, there is no loophole here.
Right, but there is no loophole. It's either you have a first aid kit or you don't.
You play fair or you drown.
Well, then I guess I'm drowning.
You have nothing else, just that?
Okay,
Bro's
no,
like,
so...
all right, I know I need 5 items, but...
So we're going to go with a hatchet. So like one of those survival hatchets.
I think a hatchet's a good pick.
A tactical
like
shovel.
You want a tactical shovel?
Yeah.
As cool as Markiplier made the tactical shovel, I think if you bought a tactical shovel off Amazon.com that are like the ones you can screw it together, I think it's just gonna break, dog. I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay, so
what
do
you want to use the tactical shovel for?
Well, the tactical
Send us
shovel.
a picture of a tactical shovel.
The tactical shovel has a saw on it. It has a blade on one side of the actual shovel head. It can unscrew into like a whistle, a harpoon, a fire starter. So it's like a survival kit minus the first aid kit, but a shovel.
Okay. So it's but a shovel basically.
So
okay.
In all seriousness,
So-
I'm going a hatchet, but one of those ones that has a paracord wrap around the handle.
All right, that's not bad. I think the hatchet
fair
is
enough.
the best choice of blade. If you're taking a blade in this,
Yeah.
It does have the most versatility. It definitely has less impact for things such as hunting, though, I would say.
You just throw that motherfucker.
You tried throwing a hatchet at a moving target before?
Yeah, then lose the hatchet?
Yeah. Like, you ain't getting that shit back.
I have other things for hunting. Calm yourself.
Okay. Well, I guess since you guys took a first aid kit and a hatchet, that leaves me with my number one pick still, which is a water filtration kit.
That's in the first aid kit.
No, it isn't.
I wouldn't include that. I'm think first aid is like cuts, scratches, maybe something for an infection.
Water
but not
filtration
like-
kits are a backpacking thing.
Yeah, they're typically in survival kits and first aid kits. So if I can't have my survival kit, you can't have your filtration kit. Kill yourself.
Well, I think you can separate a first aid kit and a filtration kit.
Yeah, I think they're different. I'm not saying I want the survival kit.
We'll say that my first aid kit does not have water filtration. His doesn't have any band-aids, and I think we'll be fine.
Fair enough. Because water is basically the number one thing you need to survive. And if you're on an island, it's
There's a
probably
fucking
not safe to drink
ocean.
the water.
There's a fucking ocean.
Bro, you go
Yeah,
to drink
bud.
the ocean?
Just get a motherfucking straw.
Fish
I'm
pee in
sad.
there.
Okay.
Okay? So do I.
So do
Your
I.
point?
We were all like, so do I. Okay.
Bro's gonna look
So
so
it's-
fucking dried out after drinking all that salt water.
See, little did you know.
Jack.
Little did you know. I have the ability to filter out salt. I like to imagine we're on the same island, and I have a hatchet and a straw.
It's a Mr.
You're like-
Beast video. He like pulls off the island to like 3 parts.
I left 3
Yep.
idiots on a deserted island with nothing but 5 items of their choosing.
It shows our PNG tubers and then Jeremy's head crab. Anyways,
But yeah,
yes. So
that-
you're
that's
gonna
my
do
pick.
Beach.
a water
Have you any
filtration
more
kit.
besmirching of my pick, or shall we move to Jeremy's next
I have-
pick?
I have a more versatile version of your pick, so I'm happy you didn't. Happy that you did the one size fits all for it. Anyways, moving on.
Are your items just like our items, but you put some twist on it to try to like sell it?
This is how he did the superhero draft too, and he lost.
No, I did the superhero draft with the heart, and you guys stomped on my heart.
The reason you lost is because you were gonna pick Spider-Man, and literally everyone else was gonna pick Spider-Man.
Anyways,
All right, my second item is gonna be a tarp.
Oh, just a heart.
motherfucker!
I think that was his
And
next item, Jeremy.
I think the reason he's gonna be mad is because one of my reasons for picking a tarp is because if I strung it up, then I could collect rainwater.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I need shelter, that also works. Or if I need to keep something dry, I can wrap it up.
It is very versatile. That is true.
Yeah.
Well, this is unfortunate.
Like, do you need specifics, like how big the tarp is, or just?
No, I
just
think when
tarp?
we imagine a tarp, like I think of like what you would put a tent over to avoid getting dew on your feet or whatever.
Yeah, just average size big blue tarp.
Yeah. I think that's a great pick. Yeah. And gather rainwater. I mean, you don't have anything to put it in, but maybe you could carve something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Kat. What do you have for water?
So, I'm gonna do, hear me out, a clear tarp.
No.
A tarp with holes in it.
I brought a Brita filter.
In all seriousness, my next pick will be a tent.
That's a good pick.
Okay, yeah.
Shelter is important.
Yeah.
I have ideas for the actual water. Listen, I was in Boy Scouts for long enough. I know how to make my own water filtration stuff not using a tarp. So,
Ooh, Boy Scouts.
kill yourself. So I'm just going
My
to get a
scout leader
condom.
touched me.
I'm going to get a condom, and I'm going to stretch it really wide so then it acts as a rain barrel.
And then the FBI shows up and arrests you for collecting rain.
And then I'm saved.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, that's true. There you go.
Yeah, I'll just avoid my taxes while I'm there, and I'll get found eventually.
I'm so mad
All
you
right.
picked fucking tarp.
So you
That was
picked a
literally
10,
going
huh?
to be my next. Yeah, I picked a 10. If I
All
can, if I can be like exact with it, I'm gonna do like a 3-person tent. That way, it's big enough to store my stuff in it for when it rains.
Yeah, that's smart.
All right.
I would do a hammock.
What?
Yeah, a hammock.
When looking up, I did see a hammock, and I thought about it, but I was like, I have other stuff to prioritize.
Yeah, I would.
But that's not too bad.
Yeah, like I always think like the number one travel bed is a hammock. Like if you're hiking, camping, anywhere, it's the easiest thing to set up. Usually,
I mean, I would.
I always have
go
one with a
like
bug net,
sleeping bag.
so I'm safe.
Yeah.
Like as
And
Yo, those
zippers.
hammocks with
if it,
those hammocks with bug nets are fucking vibe.
Oh, they're so nice, dude. But yeah, a hammock, 100%.
I'm thinking of like an older like all like rope, not rope, but like like rope.
Oh, like a
an
net.
old rope hammock. Yeah, like a net hammock. And the reason I thought of that was because if you really need rope for like dire needs, but I guess if you're thinking of like a
Like this would be my
those, like, rock
shelter,
climber
I guess.
hammocks.
But yeah,
Yeah.
obviously the hammock has its downsides of there's not like space to put anything, but I don't think I'm gonna
Yeah.
have anything I need to keep particularly safe on a desert island. You get one pair of clothes and a water filtration kit. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, so far water filtration kit, you could just keep that in the hammock with you. It's going to be uncomfortable,
Exactly, it's
but
not
it's rather
huge.
keep it safe than yeah.
all right, back to you, Jeremy.
Okay, I have a few things, so I'm just gonna glance over here real quick. Because now I have to think about. Actually, I'm gonna do a tool, and that's gonna be a machete.
Oh fuck, I was
Ooh.
gonna do that. Shit. All right. Now I gotta think of a new tool.
Because while a hatchet is good, in my opinion, a machete is more versatile.
Is it?
Because with a hatchet, because you have multiple parts to a machete, and really in a hatchet you have a very limited blade.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
Yeah.
I think usually a machete can last longer.
At least with a
Because
hatchet,
it's-
you could take down a tree, though.
You could take down a tree with a machete if
Well,
you're trying
on a
hard
desert
enough.
island, you're not gonna have too many very thick trees.
That's true. That's true.
And unless you're, because like usually this when you have like a machete, only the real trees are gonna have a hard time with like big thick tree like an oak or like a birch or like some maple.
And
tree.
even
But if
those,
you're on a-
you don't want to cut those down.
yeah, because that's a lot of shade and that's a lot of you can technically harvest things from them. Like if you're thinking an oak tree, you can get acorns.
Yeah.
But still. But yeah, I'm going machete.
Machete is that. I think the machete is the number one pick for the tool. Of the,
And if you want to stay on the same level, if you want to throw it's the specific handle rope thing.
Yeah.
I
think if we say like a tool, we could just automatically say yes, this tool comes with a paracord handle.
Yeah,
Just
it doesn't have to be the survivor's machete and it has a compass and a match thing inside. But yeah, just machete with the ripcord handle.
fuck, that does not leave me a lot of options for tools.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick a samurai sword with a paracord handle.
I pick AK-47.
I pick a bomb.
Okay, Kat. Unless you have anything you want to besmirch the machete with, it's your turn.
I mean, there's a reason I didn't pick a machete. That's it. Like, I'm pretty sure I could be wrong with this, but I'm pretty sure axes stay sharper longer.
Yeah, but I think in terms of an island environment, you're gonna have a lot of foliage. You're gonna have a lot of
Yeah.
less dense trees. I just think, in my opinion, the machete would help me out more.
So my next pick is going to be a tackle box.
Wait, just like a tackle box?
Well, just the
with
box?
the stuff
Like-
in it. The stuff that you would listen. If you're gonna say first aid kit, I can say tackle box because I mean the stuff in the box.
But that doesn't come
Like
with a
the
fishing
hooks.
rod.
Yeah, that's what the paracord's for, dumbass.
You're gonna fish
You know
with paracord?
You know how paracord works, right?
I didn't know if it's sunk to the bottom or not.
What? No, regular fishing line doesn't sink to the bottom either. A paracord rope has a bunch of microfibers inside of it that you can pull out, and you tie them together, and you can make a fishing line.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I could see where that's.
I see
okay.
where you're going, yeah.
So I'm gonna do a tackle box because you can also use hooks for other things as well. It'll be more than just for cooking or catching fish, which is hilarious because I go to fishing, but I don't like fish. So
I mean,
Cat
you
defaulted to fishing.
can't really be picky.
well, no, because
or
because
picky.
because I'd rather carry around a string that I can wrap into like a coil with a hook on it than carry around a bow and arrow.
That's fair.
Because a bow and arrow is clunkier, but I can retrieve the arrows, so it's reusable ammunition. But I'd rather carry around a fishing wire than a bow and arrow because it's smaller. More.
And you don't want to
Also,
climb the
if you-
coconut trees?
Huh?
You don't want to climb the coconut trees around?
No, not really.
Don't make me
Yeah, but-
climb the coconut tree.
Anyways,
But,
but yeah, I'm gonna do a tackle box with all of its stuff inside of it, like the hooks and lures and shit.
Okay. That's not too bad. You don't have any bait,
Yeah.
but hopefully the lures work good enough.
yeah.
I'm sure I could figure something out. I'm assuming this desert island has
I mean, you could probably find
different
worms.
types of trees. Yeah, that too. I
was like-
actually just learned today about how to lure worms out of the ground. So
You just do a little dance.
I'm gonna counter that a little bit
Oh,
because I
get
don't
him.
think worms live on saltwater bound islands.
I mean, they got to live in the
There's-
dirt, don't they?
I
There's-
mean, maybe, but there's also little creatures in the sand you can probably dig up to also.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's worms in
sandflies.
Africa.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, but you could also you don't have to just use earthworms. There's other worms you can use, like bloodworms are especially good for fishing, I believe. And they are
worms.
yeah, and you can also do sand fleas that you can find on the actual beach of the island. I'm assuming
fuck
this is a
sand
decent
fleas.
size.
And you know what? I could just be wrong. Just straight up. Like, actually,
Yeah.
you know what? I have.
I'm sure
can
you
continue
can.
talking.
I'm sure you can find things on the island. If all else fails, I'm sure there's snails on the island or slugs.
You could find something to bait a hook with.
Yeah.
All else fails, you chop off a finger and hope for the best.
What?
You heard me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, I'm just wrong.
Worms
There
live
are,
where
in
worms
fact,
want to
worms
live.
on islands. Yeah, worms just do their own thing, man. They just worm around.
But how did they get there?
None of my business.
They
It's
swam.
worm business.
Anyways, who is next? I believe it's Ace's
It is
turn?
me.
It's Ace, yeah.
So you both have your tools. You can, I guess, veto this if you think it's too close to the machete, but I'm thinking like a survival knife.
Like a
I
Bowie
say
knife?
that's fine.
No. Like think, you don't play Resident Evil. Shit.
More like a combat knife.
Yes, combat knife. Think
Okay.
combat knife.
Okay.
Because I can use the combat knife as a knife, but I can also use it to sharpen sticks and make it into spears.
Yeah. You can do the same thing with a machete and a
Exactly.
hatchet, your point.
Yeah. Well, I'll have. I don't have the option of a machete and a hatchet instead. I think I'd rather have the spears than trying to fight everything with a combat knife or a survival knife in this case.
Well,
That
you
was an
could
idea
take.
I had.
You could tie the knife to the end of the spear. Boom, more potent that way.
That's true. But if you stab something and it runs, you kind of lose your knife.
Yeah, then your knife's gone, and now you're fucked.
This is true. Anyways, yeah, I think that's okay.
And then I can go spear fishing.
Yeah.
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 Boom.
Yeah,
Now,
I think that's okay.
now I have made a way. All right, Jeremy, your turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I'm surprised nobody else picked this sooner. I'm gonna go with waterproof matches.
Oh, okay.
Which includes, I think, I'm just, because I think there are ones that come in a plastic container, and on the bottom of the cap there's like the striking spot. I could be wrong about that.
You think
Yeah,
matches?
You're right.
Matches do
Yeah.
run out is the issue. So do you think you'd eventually learn how to make fire on your own when you run out of matches?
There's ways
Probably
that you can.
not,
Do, there's ways where you can use one match to light 3 different fires. You just have to keep your coals hot and
Yeah,
keep them red.
if I get a routine where I'm constantly either making new fire or I have something else to start a fire,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep my matches like rationed, I could probably
Yeah.
do it for a while.
Okay. It's not a bad pick.
Or you like, he hasn't said anything for food yet, but you could switch to just making like jerky of sorts, and then you don't have to cook food as often, or you don't need to set the fire as often.
This is true.
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Kat? I guess it's up to you now.
So
what are
I'm
you
gonna go
thinking
with
is the next most important.
Ferrous rod, or I think that's how it was called.
Oh, what?
Phosphorus rod. The things that they have on flint and steels. It's not flint anymore. It's something else. I'm just gonna get one of those rods
Oh, okay.
because that won't run out, and I can use my if I just get a big rod instead of a flint and steel, which is a small piece of steel and a small piece of quote unquote flint. If I just get a rod, I can use the hatchet that I have to strike it.
How big is this rod?
It's decent sized.
That's yeah. Are we talking like a foot, 6 inches?
It has a good personality.
Okay.
All right, you.
This guy and his 20-foot rod of tungsten or whatever the fuck.
Tungsten? No, I'm thinking like at least like a pen. That's all I'll
okay.
need.
So like 4 to 6 inches. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't run out as quickly as the matches will. That's why I didn't mention flint and steel, because I didn't want you to switch
Well,
to that.
if you can start a fire every time with just sparks, then yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I-
If you
I
could figure
can,
that out.
yeah. Or I could just do a 9-volt battery and steel wool.
But do you have?
But do you have a 9-volt battery and
inverter
steel wool?
And
No, I'm saying like I
And-
could do that instead of flint and steel.
That's 2 things.
and how is your
Technically, a first aid kit is like 20 things. So, anyways,
but
yeah,
they're all band-aids.
yeah, but they're all band-aids.
I
Yeah.
just get one big band-aid I have to cut up.
Some of them have Cookie Monster on them.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do a flint rod.
Okay.
About the width and size of a pencil or a pen.
Okay.
So we were all thinking fire is the next and most important thing, which is funny.
I mean, I still don't have my water supply. I kind of just thought I'll figure it out.
Cat's like, I got several picks left. I'll figure out the water thing.
No, I mean like I'm not going to pick anything for water. I mean like on the
I would say
island,
you
I
can
will figure
boil it.
something out.
I don't know if boiling salt water works.
It works
Yeah,
in
it does.
raft.
It does work, but you have to have something covering it, which comes
Yeah,
to my.
but also, what are you gonna boil it in?
Do you have a cup?
He just gets one of those beggar steel cups. Just one cup
like
at
I
a
said,
time.
I'll figure something out. I got ideas.
So I do know how to make a fire with my own hands, but for ease of my own life, I'll bring a lighter.
Yeah, but
Okay.
then you're screwed when it rains.
If he
See,
like puts it in
I
his
have a
mouth
tent.
Or why did I say mouth? Puts it in his pocket or something.
Let me just put my lighter in my mouth.
Or in his hammock.
In my hammock,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's
Yeah,
small.
but your hammock's not waterproof because it has a bug net on it. I have a
He
tent.
never specified it was a bug
He
net.
said bug net.
It's a covered
Therefore,
hammock.
It's mesh. So Jeremy has a tarp that's waterproof. I have a tent that's somewhat
Does it
waterproof.
okay? Does it still have a zipper?
Yeah.
Then he could technically just flip it upside down.
Oh boy, it's gonna rain. Better flip the hammock.
I'll just be under the hammock for the day.
Or you could just bury it.
That's
I
true.
Guess.
There are places
Yeah.
you could stash a lighter that it won't get destroyed,
I mean, you
Yeah,
could put
it's a
it.
hole
You
in
could
a tree or something.
and they
put
last
it
a
in your
good bit.
shoe.
It depends on the kind of lighter, because if you're talking about like old school Zippo, that thing's gonna evaporate in like 3 days.
No, I'm thinking like what I light my candles with.
Like a big old like stick lighter.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
I think a lighter, yeah. I think there's problems to it, but
Yeah, they're kind of the same issues of everybody else's.
All right, Jerry. You're on your 5th pick.
Okay, I have to see if I want to just because it's either going to be a flare gun, because while we're trying to survive on this island, that doesn't mean we're not trying to also maybe escape eventually.
I mean, yeah, you could do that. I mean, like the main thing is no items that help you escape. But I don't think a flare gun directly helps you.
Yeah, like I heard like oh yeah, no, just a boat.
Yeah, don't just pick a fucking boat.
as your 5th item.
Yeah.
No like vehicles. Fuck.
I want a helicopter.
Yeah. I want me a Lamborghini while I'm on this island.
You can have a Lamborghini while you're on the island. You ain't going nowhere. Like, I want to use the AC.
Yeah. But with my no gas. Oh, fuck.
I want that giant gumball machine from Mr. Beast videos.
It's either that or something like a non-perishable food substance.
an MRE.
Like no, because not MRE, because well I get the one. I get the one MRE.
You get one easy meal.
If you go, a lot of times if you go to like a gun show, they'll sell buckets of like 120 day lasting food bucket, and I don't think it's like food, like it's not like an MRE where you can just like put it in like water in a bag and it like cooks up like some pasta. It's like this. It's more like a basically like a protein bar, of how it's like, oh, here's all like your daily need like nutrients and like protein and fiber.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but it's like a big bucket of stuff like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
This is like a 30-day supply thing for like disasters.
I'm gonna bring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring my survival 5-gallon bucket.
He's not joking. That's a thing.
If yeah, no, it actually is. Okay, if I were to pick MREs, how many would I get?
30.
Are we assuming that we'll be on the island for 30 days?
I guess
Before
after 30 days, if I'm not.
If after 30 days, if he's not hunting and fishing, he's gonna die.
Yeah, I'm just fucked.
Like with the water.
No, I have a plan. I'm gonna use the banana. I'm gonna use the leaves that are on the coconut trees that you said were on the island, and I'm gonna make a rain catcher.
Just less rain than a tarp would.
Wait, do you know what a coconut tree looks like?
No.
You live in Florida.
You could probably see one.
You should know. Yeah, they have palm fronds. They don't have. You're thinking of banana trees.
I didn't mean banana tree. No, I know how to make it with palm fronds too. I didn't mean to say.
Oh, okay.
Tree.
Well, if you're just like that guy and you can do it, then I mean,
palm fronds make
I'm
great
like
shelters.
I'm a sponge of useless knowledge.
But yeah, those buckets you were talking about, I remember my grandmother-in-law bought them when the pandemic started. So.
Yeah, because they do exist. 30. Hold on. Let me look up. Look what's inside of one of those.
I just typed in disaster bucket.
Disaster bucket. It's like Pandora's box, but it's just like the 2020 version.
Because
of it,
I think it's just
bucket.
like it's like a shit ton of pasta, or something,
It's
or it's
a
kind
lot
of
of,
like dog
like...
kibble, where it's just like this food substance, you know, like a nutrient block from Subnautica.
It looks like 30 days
a
of hamburger
nutrient
helper.
block.
It could just be like 30 days of like pasta, but even then, at least I'll be eating pasta.
Bro, this thing's like $177. What the fuck?
Yeah.
16 food varieties, 2,000 calories per day for 28 days.
Considering how I only have a machete, which if there are big enough creatures on this island, I could possibly kill one with a machete.
I'm thinking boars.
Yeah,
a
boars
boar
are
is
also
going
tough
to.
as fuck.
Yeah, but
a boar
they'll
is just
attack
gonna
you.
fuck me up, man.
A boar is not a friendly creature.
Well,
No,
the
they're
boars are
not.
there. So the reason why I say they'll attack you. You don't have to hunt them. You
Yeah,
can
they will just
wait for them to
attack you.
come at you, and then you just like arrange a trap. Because I think all of us right now have paracord. I think we just said if you have a tool, we'll just
If you have a tool that has
It
a
depends on
paracord wrap.
how much paracord.
enough. We'll just leave it at that.
I'm just pelt the boar
It's
with
just like
coconuts.
infinite amounts of paracord.
That's where my spears come in handy. I just start chucking them at the boar.
You do realize
I
that just
guess
sharpening
I
a
could make things.
there's a lot more to a throwing spear than just sharpening a stick because it's this. I've tried that. That's not how
Yeah.
it works.
But if you light it on fire and throw it.
Congratulations, you just burned your island down. I've made lawn darts we went to a park, and at this park there was this like a little bit of like a wooded area, so we just decided we were gonna go in there and make lawn darts. So we would take like sticks, and then we'd use other sticks to hollow them out, so we could put in a stick that we sharpened on the concrete as like a needle, and then we took palm fronds and then vines that we found and tied them around the thing to make feathers, and then tied a rock around the front of it with the same vines. So we made lawn darts. I know that just sharpening a stick and throwing it's not going to get you what you want.
Fair enough. You could make a trap with it, though.
Yeah.
You could. You could, full on Vietnam and just dig a hole and
I'm going to
put some
show
sticks
these.
in it.
We're going to show these boars who's boss. Vietnam pitfall trap, bitch!
Give the boars
And
PTSD.
with that, I think I'm just going to go with a flare gun.
You're going to go with the flare gun over the disaster bucket?
Yeah, I have the machete and I could make spears.
All right.
And whether or not that'll help me, but I'll try.
We'll just assume right now, if you have something to catch food, you will catch food. We'll just say it like that.
That's a bold assumption.
That is
okay.
a bold assumption, sir. We'll go.
I'm
No,
down
like-
with that.
We'll we'll say if you
I
have a
guess
survival.
it's more the ability. It's the ability to do it, not the actual doing.
Yeah, I'm
it.
not saying you will be able if you have something I have the fishing wire, there is or the tackle box. There will be an area for me to fish. If you have spears and you're intending on hunting boars with said spears, there's gonna be boars on the island. Like you have everything that you need to survive on the island. You're just getting.
And I have
things
my
that
first
make
aid
it
kit
easier.
in case a boar fucks my shit up.
In case a
boar
boar
impales
finds
you.
you under your tarp.
Yeah.
A boar like impales you, and you're like, I don't think a band-aid will cover this.
Boar's just like, I hate that
don't
shade
know.
of blue. Meow.
Yeah, he fucks up my tarp. What? My dog just like "Rrr" at me.
So whose turn is it? You're
It's
going
yours
with the
now,
flare gun?
Cat. So
Okay,
that
so-
was Jeremy's fifth.
So I'm not gonna do something to find help because I could just make signal fires because it's gonna do about the same thing that a flare gun will.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sure.
you just make signal fires by putting palm fronds on a fire. They smoke really really big. So instead of doing an escape out, I'm going to have a backup for water just in case. I'm gonna do a life straw.
A life straw?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's
It's basically a water filtration kit.
Oh,
but it's
is
a
it?
straw. Yeah, but it's a straw.
Oh, so someone's cheating.
No, I'm not cheating. It's a totally different thing because a water filtration
Is
kit
it?
will make the
Is it?
water filtration kit is a tablet that you put in the water. So you need to have a container for the water. A life straw, I just go up to a puddle and slurp.
He never specified what kind of water purification kit it was.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking,
what's in a water purification kit. It's
No,
tablets.
those are just water purification tablets.
Yeah, like the kit I'm thinking of is actually like a hose and a cup you put into a stream or the ocean, and it filters in real time.
Okay. So you're going to veto my life straw?
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. I still have.
You can have the tablets if you want them.
You don't get clean water.
No, I do though, because I got the rainwater. That, anyways.
Drink your salt.
Oh shit! Drink my salt. It just brings back to I got a hatchet and a straw. I'm gonna do a basic metal mess kit.
What is that?
Huh?
Mess kit is like eating utensils you bring for camping. So it has
like cookware.
Yeah.
Bro taught his fucking utilities with him.
Yeah.
I brought my switch fork.
I'm not gonna lie. When you
I
said
brought my
metal
switch
mess
spoon.
kit, I thought of like I-beams and like concrete and like you start building a house.
But no, I'm gonna bring a mess kit. So the metal mess kits, what I'm thinking of are they have cups that are made of metal, but then they have things surrounding them, and you undo those things, and it gives you a handle for a small pot.
Oh, so this is like a hiking kit.
Yeah, like a hiking food kit.
Okay.
And I'm bringing that instead, because that way, just in case I'm gonna make a rain catcher with these palm fronds doesn't work out, I have a way to boil the water.
Yeah.
And also a cup. Cups are nice to have, anyways.
Mm-hmm. You always
If
want
all
a
else
cup for
fails
something.
overnight, yeah, cups are very, very nice.
I'm just gonna make one from a coconut and just keep making it as the coconuts go bad.
Yeah, that works too.
But that'll get old, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you could do coconut water,
That's true. Coconut water is sustainable.
and it's also very, very good for you.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Do you know how to open a coconut?
It's very
though?
hydrationing.
Do you know how to open a coconut that just came off of a tree?
With a big enough
Because-
knife, I do.
Because they have husks. So they're
Like
not
that
the
one
kind
guy
of coconuts
just-
that you'll. Yeah, they're not the coconuts you're gonna
Rip it open with
see.
my teeth.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah,
Did
you're
you
not
say you're
gonna.
gonna open a coconut with your teeth?
Oh, there's a guy that
like
did
that one guy. Yeah, exactly.
But no, you can also use the husks of a coconut to like weave baskets and shit.
I figured they make good fire starters as well.
That as well.
Yeah.
You got to dry them out though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what works better than
you're
you
gonna
know what works. You know what works better? You want to know what works better for a fire starter than coconut husk?
grass.
It's called monkey moss, I believe, and it's
Ayo?
it's the fibers. It's the fibers in a palm tree that you can get in between the palm fronds of the tree and the actual like bark of the tree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't know it
Yeah,
had a
I know what
name.
he's talking about.
I think it's monkey moss or monkey fur or something like that. I don't know. It's
Okay.
probably monkey fur because it kind of looks like it. But yeah, you just use that. That's really, really good for fire starters. Like it burns immediately and it's like big flare of fire. So that'd be
All
really
right.
nice. And then, yeah,
So that was your fifth pick is the mess kit. Is that what's called?
a metal mess kit.
Metal
Specifically,
mess
because
kit.
you can
Okay.
get plastic ones.
Well,
But I want to specify metal. That way I can use it to cook with as well.
I'll see if my final pick gets vetoed then, because I wanted to bring a cast iron pan.
I feel like if you're gonna say no to my life straw, I get to say no to that because also cast iron so your shelter. So let's do a recap real quick. Jeremy's shelter is a tarp, very versatile, very cool. My shelter's a full ass tent. Your shelter is a hammock.
Yep.
You know that is gonna rust, right? Because you can't keep that in your hammock. It can damage the hammock. It's also gonna be very uncomfortable to sleep with.
Does cast iron rust?
Yes.
I've never
Yes,
had
'cause
cast iron
it's
rust.
iron. Well, do you live on a salty desert island? I don't think so.
Good point.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you can take it if you want, but
I'm gonna
wanna
take a
say
raincoat
that'll-
then.
okay.
I'll take a
like,
raincoat.
like a poncho or just like a.
Like
like-
a raincoat.
Yeah, like an
Ponchos
actual
are
raincoat.
one-time use.
All right.
Because at least I can keep myself dry, and anything on my
Yeah.
person dry.
Yeah, and then you put your lighter in there.
Exactly.
Also, I want to specify, because none of us here are stupid, if we're just going to be able to pull something out of thin air, we're not pulling the cheapest version of this out of thin air. We're going to be pulling out things that'll last.
Yeah.
Brother, my
I think
hammock
that's-
costs thousands of dollars.
Yeah. So, the things that we're pulling out of thin air are going to last.
Decent quality items.
Yeah.
All right.
Not no, Amazon.com.
Yeah, these are going to be like... Yeah, I got my tent off Temu. Turns out it's just pocket-sized.
The fucking
knew the-
boars hate it.
I knew the $5 was too good to be true.
Yeah, I bought my waterproof matches off of Temu and got a kit instead. How do I exchange this? Can I
bought
send this
my-
back?
I bought my waterproof matches off of Temu. It's just an empty container. It turns out it's a waterproof match container.
They sent me a brick of cocaine. Can I return this or?
If I snort enough of it, I should be able to run over the Pacific Ocean. But yeah, I think that wraps everyone else up.
That is 5 items. You guys want to recap it real quick?
Do we
Start-
want to do honorable mentions first?
Oh yeah, I guess we should do some honorable mentions.
Okay. Do you want to hear mine?
Yeah.
So I asked for ideas from a friend of mine, and it I knew it wasn't gonna like work because no boats, but it was literally a boat, a fuel for a boat or food for on the boat, a secondary boat which is also a yacht, fuel for that boat, a life vest, food for the secondary boat, someone who knows how to operate a boat, money to pay the person to operate the boat.
God damn it.
A boat and a yacht.
I'm so
boat
glad
and
I
yacht
made those
accessories.
rules before we started.
Yeah.
So I also asked someone, and they basically just said boat, and I went, I can't do a boat, and they're like, okay, helicopter.
God
I'm like,
damn it.
no, things to survive on the island.
Survive, not escape. The point is survival.
But
Yeah,
my
'cause
honorable
I-
mention, I got a crazy one, and I actually just thought of this after I picked my final item, but a sharpening kit.
Oh
For my
yeah,
axe.
shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My axe will stay sharper than your guys' knives, but they'll still dull. So I feel like, I'm sure there's other ways you can sharpen something.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but
Google
it's-
works on the desert island, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's hard to do without some other chunk of metal, and even
Yeah.
then.
So,
I mean, I have...
Unless
have
there's like
rings
a
made
concrete
of-
slab or something.
I have the slab.
The slab. And there are like knives, like if you have like a bayonet from the military, those will usually have a big block of the chunk of metal for sharpening. But I just have machete.
just machete.
Yeah.
I am the machete warrior.
But no, my only real honorable mention was just a sharpening kit. I think pretty much everything else on here, I'm set. My opinion.
All
Yeah.
right. So, I was thinking a bear trap.
All right.
I thought that might have been something. I just didn't want. Obviously, it's going to wear out, and obviously, I'm going to run out of things to kill with it. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I think you can
gonna
kill-
rust and whatnot, but
I think you can kill anything in that.
the other thing was
Like,
a
it
fishing
depends.
The problem is a bird is gonna
fishing
come.
net would have been nice.
Yeah, I was thinking fishing net too, but I figured if necessary, because we kind of just had the loophole of the paracord never runs out, I could just make a fishing net.
net. Eventually, yeah.
I guess technically, yeah.
But no, for your bear trap, I just imagine like, yeah, so I'm gonna run out of things. And bitch, anything can die to a bear trap. You just have a bird come in and it lands on the bear trap and just cuts the bird in half.
What if I forget where it is one day, though?
Yeah, you wake up gonna go piss one morning and fuck.
I don't even have a med kit.
I'd imagine that you don't put it that close to your hammock.
Just
what if you
roll
had,
out
like,
of
a
bed
predator
face first
walking
into a
around?
bear trap.
You put it
Well,
on
he got
the
off-
hammock.
Well, he got off. He got off the island.
Yeah.
That was my other thing. It was like, if there's like a really tall cliff here, I want a wingsuit so I don't get bored.
You fly off the island.
I was
Miami.
also thinking tarp, obviously, because you can use a tarp to collect water. But
Yeah.
tarp to collect water, also shelter if necessary, and it's a portable shelter, which is why I also defaulted to tent, portable shelter.
So
If something
overall,
happens in my area, then yeah.
I think this draft is actually really close. I think we all have really good picks this time around.
Yeah, and we're doing a loadout thing, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like this is a loadout.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
This
not going to be
isn't-
putting these picks all against one another right now.
Yeah, you guys are picking the loadout that wins.
Who won? Who's next?
Yeah. And if you guys want to bully us for our loadouts, and you guys like, oh, you should have put this on your list, go ahead and let us know, because we're not very smart here.
Yeah, give us what you would have put in yours.
Do you believe
Yeah.
that worms are on desert islands?
Worms? Yes or no?
I was also gonna make a joke of like, listen, I'm sure at one point in time I'm gonna get tapeworms. I could use those for bait.
Ah, so fucking
I-
Oh,
gross.
dude.
I'm willing to bet.
mosquitoes?
I'm willing to bet it will happen at one point.
Me picking the bot flies out of my skin to use as bait.
Aw. Yummy.
There's bugs in your skin.
Oh.
Pull them out.
Fucking Uno reversed
Protein.
me. Oh yeah.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Let's go ahead and give a quick recap of what our lists were for our listeners so they can get an idea.
Jeremy,
So-
you go first.
Yep, go ahead.
I had a first aid kit, a tarp, machete, waterproof matches, and a flare gun.
All right, Kat.
I have a hatchet, parentheses, survival. Basically just saying it has paracord wrapped around it. A tent, a tackle box, and a metal mess kit.
All right. And
should
I
probably
had a water
cross off
filtration
live
kit,
straw.
a hammock covered, at least, survival knife, a lighter, and a raincoat.
I
I
feel
think-
like
Hmm?
I feel like if we are on the same island, is the lore of this island that we actually are all on the same island?
I feel like we're all on the
It
same
can
island,
be.
but there's like a mountain range that goes three ways. So we
There's
never
Yeah, so I
see
feel
each
like-
other.
All
If we
separating
eventually
in 3 ways.
Yeah, I feel like if we eventually find each other, then we're vibing, just like sharing the stuff. that
Oh,
we
I
have.
was thinking the opposite. It's just an instant fight to the death.
Yeah, I kill you. And take
Whatever
your
you're
shit.
holding, you have to fight each other now.
I'm coming for that tarp.
Yeah, it's like the Hunger
This-
Games.
Yeah, the Hunger Games. Who's gonna win with their? We mentioned weapons. Who's winning with their weapons? Not me.
I think I have range. If it's just base weapon.
Yeah, unless you fall into a spear trap.
Oh shit, dude! This would be like a cool concept.
I mean, I
Hunger
did
Games
say-
filterless style.
I did just
Yeah.
say earlier that I have the know-how to make lawn darts. So
Ooh,
Like, and I don't
lawn
even-
darts.
But can you hit me with a long dart?
yeah,
Before I cut your face with a machete?
yes. You don't have to throw a lawn dart up. You can throw them straight.
New Mr.
Well, right,
Beast
but
video.
how good are you at darts?
Huh?
It's a new
good are you
Mr.
at
Beast
darts?
video.
Yeah, I feel like we know who'd win.
Yeah, we know who won. You let us
On
know.
top of letting us know whose loadout wins, let us know who's gonna win the filterless Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, people, as Ven is a reoccurring host, co-host, backup host, whatever, they're not a guest host. They are a reoccurring host. Jeremy will also be a reoccurring host, so get used to him.
Let's go.
Get used to the googly-eyed head crab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the googly-eyed head crab wearing jorts, I might add.
Yep, the jorts are a staple.
So what did we learn today, guys?
That as long as I get to pick first, I'll be better than Kat.
Okay. I feel like all of the drafts we're gonna do from now on is just be like, okay, Kat, you go second. Oh, okay.
I'm very tempted.
No, it's supposed to be random. This
They
was a
are
different type
random.
of draft. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't be tempted because they're supposed to be random. But this was not a tournament. This is a draft, a
Yes.
loadout draft. We will be doing more of these in the future. We have some plans for some.
I had
So-
fun with this one. I don't know about you guys.
I had fun with it. I
yeah.
liked it. So the whole purpose of this is to convince you guys, the listener, and then we'll basically figure out who wins based on what you guys say in the comments down below on the YouTube video or in the Spotify poll.
And you could email us some topics for some of these drafts at filterlesstopics@gmail.com, and maybe we'll pick them.
Yeah. And you want to go ahead and give them the rest of the socials since we're wrapping up?
Sure. So we have several socials for you guys to hit up. We have an Instagram, Filters Podcast, Twitter, The Filters PC, and TikTok, The Filters Podcast, all for your pleasures of finding more filterless content.
Yep. And Ace, my friend, if they want more Ace of Shame content, where are they going to get that?
Well, you can find me at Ace of Shame pretty much everywhere because nobody's dumb enough to pick that name, but specifically on Twitch and Twitter.
Yeah. And the best way to support the podcast is just tell people.
Yep.
You know? Just tell your friends, like, hey, there's this goofy-ass little people doing things, and they're bouncing on the video and shit. So go ahead and tell it. Yeah, go ahead and tell your friends about us. If you hate them. But also if you love them, because laughs and gaffs here. And if you want any more Dr. Catatonic content, YouTube and Twitch at Dr. Catatonic. And I'm the guy wearing the suit and tie, or the purple tie, mask, and sunglasses.
You'll know him when you
Jeremy.
see him.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Can't miss him.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Give us an outro.
I wasn't recording.
What?
No, I'm fucking with you.
Oh,
I'm
you
fucking
piece of shit.
Yeah. this
Wait,
has
we
been,
started the episode?
Anyway, you guys ready for the podcast episode today? But
Anyways, give us an outro.
this was the podcast.
This has been Filters, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Go fuck yourselves, please, for the love of God.
Do you not condone fucking yourself?
No, we do.
Oh, I do. Masturbation is a win.
Yeah, I'm gonna